And sorry. Go ahead.
Hunchback of Booger Woods. That's a true story. Jack Kearney was the guy that we ran around with, and he was like the head of the gang. And what he would do would go and put like a basketball jersey on and put a deal in the middle of his back like a humpback, and he'd find somebody parked out at Lake Paris, Lake Henrietta, and he'd park off down the road and run back up there and jump on the car and scare the crap out of the people. And usually a man, some guy and a gal, scare the crap out of them. And it came up that George Nicolino was in the group. He wrote a poem about Hunchback of Booger Woods. Round the bend at 9:49, the Hunchback of Booger Woods jumped out of the woods or something. I didn't know about it. So one night we went out. He had like a 49 Mercury. Me and it was like him, and I was in the middle in the front seat, and John Porter, my friend, was in the middle in the back seat, and he didn't know about the Hunchback of Booger Woods. But the rest of the guys in the car knew that this Jack Kearney was actually the Hunchback of Booger Woods. That was the name of the woods around Lake Henrietta. Nicholas Park it was called. And so he excused himself and got out of the car. I had to go to the bathroom. He turned up, he walked up, and I could see like somebody in front of the car. And he said, "Red Dog, turn on the lights." And there he was, Jack Kearney, with a hump in his back. The Hunchback of Booger Woods. John Porter jumped out of the car and started running. And they finally told me about what was going on. I said, "Let's go find." John was halfway to town, probably 2 miles down the road, just running lickety-split, scared to death. Round the bend at 9:49. But you know, we'd go out and we would we were going to make a clubhouse and not spend any money. We'd go out and knock down these huge road signs, you know, the advertising signs. We'd knock them down and take them apart. One guy was named Mike Thetford. He ended up being a pilot in the United States Air Force. And it's big news. They made the papers in Tulsa. They made the papers in Oklahoma City. So one day they decided to go out in the woods. These guys said, "Let's go find that guy. We'll shoot him." So Kearney dropped off behind about 8 or 9 people walking along, and they had guns. They said, "There's this little house. That's where that guy lives." I didn't know nothing about that little house, but I was in the group walking along. Kearney walked around and got around and got about maybe 50 yards in front of everybody, and he ran across the path. And it scared those guys so bad they didn't even attempt to shoot anybody. And we never did tell any difference. But during my 50th reunion, I was talking about the Jack Kearney Mafia and the Hunchback of Booger Woods. I said, they used to say we were just cool old bums. We'd never amount to nothing. Now, I taught school for 42 years. George Nicolino sitting right here has a detective agency. Dale Lizzie over here is a preacher down in Florida someplace. And he finally married his high school sweetheart, Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. Bud Adams is over here. Anyway, everybody in that group that was kind of thuggy. We never did do anything that was bad breaking the law, but we did things that were close. And we built this clubhouse. It never cost nothing. Had like 2 or 3 rooms in it. And when I came to California, Jack Kearney was a well-known border patrolman in San Diego. He'd been in the paper a few times. He had to go find people that lost in the desert. There was a guy over in the woods around Corona shooting at cars. You know, he couldn't find him. Well, Jack Kearney found him. He was a guy from Vietnam, etc., etc. I called up Jack Kearney. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "This is Red Johnson." "Hey, what are you doing?" He didn't invite me down. He didn't invite me down or anything. I mean, we never got together. He probably didn't want me to say anything about it.
You guys were from the same area. You're back to reconnect
Henrietta.
like years later, and you just
Yeah, he was
a
from Henrietta.
jackass.
He was a good basketball player. I remember that. I lived close to the gym, so I'd go up to the gym, and I'd hustle balls for the team, high school team. And they liked me. And that's about it.
Sounds good to me.